Hello, Fabos. How are you doing? How was your day? How was everything? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Great. Just doing some Blender stuff. Hello, Ero, CG. Hello, Ngien. So interesting topic. Glad you think so. Just trying to find a way how I can have these. Yeah. Just have this on the side here. Just yeah, so let's see how we are going to approach this project. Get some good reference images. Let's get right into it as we get. You don't use the mood board app? No. Reference something? Yeah, I'm going to be referencing this here. This one here. I usually just want to get in and see what I can do. And mostly, I don't really think I need a mood board here because I'm trying to recreate this as is. I'm not trying to do something else. So let's get right to it. I think we can make this modular. So that's going to be our flow, and I can start working on the materials. We're going to use a lot of procedure materials, I think. What will you find your main income from? What are you asking? What is my main income? You can download a PureRef. It's free, and you can set up your references easily. Yeah, I have PureRef already, but I rarely use it. This setup is enough for me when I want to switch between different images. And I have another screen here that I'm using, but I rarely use PureRef. I just, especially because I'm making a live stream, you wouldn't be able to see. I would have to put it on a different screen, which you may not see. Just only label this. I want to make this modular because I think it's much faster that way. Let's create this material here, surface material. Procedurally, I'm going to use noise like this. I think we can use object mapping. And can use a car ramp like this. Just make it a bit dark like that. And we can add a color, mix RGB, and just use the color information here to add in some bit of color. And then now we can use this as the base color like that. I think I can reduce. And if we want to make it darker, I can also just add another mix node here. Just make it a bit darker like that. Let me see if we make it metallic. That's what we get if we make it metallic. We make it a bit brighter. That's going to be our surface. And I think we can also increase the size of the noise just a bit. And I'm going to use my texture folders to get texture folder add-on, texture folders add-on to get some grunge maps. So I'll go to my grunge maps, and there is this kind of fingerprint noise map. I'm just going to import it as a texture node and see it here. And make sure it uses object coordinate mapping. By the scale. Yeah. And I'm going to use this as the roughness. You get something like that. I think I can also add another mix node here, and we can blend it with this here. Now we can play with how much reflections we want in there. So let me see if I make this non-metallic. Make it darker. Maybe reduce the noise again. Make it a bit more contrasted. That's our surface here, and we can give it, I think I need to rotate this like this, apply rotation. What I'm going to do is give this an array, because we want to make this as a module. So that is, so our train is going to be something like this. Hello OM, Saiden, how are you doing? Hello Abdo, Ali, how are you doing? Maybe just go to edit mode. So this is the first part. We have started with the flow. Now we can start working on the walls. Let me first take a good look at this. This is a good resolution. Let's see if I can open this as an image. Some good resolution image here, but I can't seem to find the image itself. What are HDRI lighting scenes? I wanted to add Valorant one. What are HDRI? Are just simply images that are being used to light up your scene. Hi Yunus, Emre Porat, how are you doing? Hello Ukash, Live FF, how are you doing? Okay, so let's create the wall here. So for this, I'm just going to add a plane, already 90 degrees. And I'm just going to delete this side and add a mirror modifier I can use this object as the mirror object. Grab this. So I think if you look closely, the train takes on a profile similar to something like this. So that's what we're going to do. It corners a bit in like that. And then let me turn on clipping. That's you in the channel profile? Yeah, that's me. That is me. Okay, so I think we can have it at this height. Maybe scale this up. Have it somewhere here. And again, I want to make this modular, so I'm just going to extrude this to match the same height or the same length of this. Apply scale, Ctrl L, link modifiers. Apply rotation. So we have something like that. And the mirror we added, we have to add a mirror. Like this. Let's use this as the center. And make sure the mirror is above everything else, like that. City generate. Let me save this as interior train, like so. Save that. I got an ad in the video. How much money YouTube gives you? Not a lot. Not a lot. I don't like to say anymore because I work with other people who may not feel comfortable with me sharing that information. Hello there, and everyone else. Today gone cold, folks. So it's cold there, Burning Crab. How are you doing? Do you mean it's cold where you are? Okay, turn on clipping. Okay. So now I just have to work on one side here, and the results should be replicated everywhere else. So this is going to be our outside wall, and I think I can give it a kind of a beige look. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to link other materials here, so that we don't have to start from scratch. And I'm going to duplicate this material and adjust the colors a bit. So this, first of all, is going to be a bit like a beige. I think that's the color, like that. And this edge here, I think, can be a bit rounded off a bit like that. Same here. Yeah, I'm 29 years. I think this edge here comes at around this part here. So that's our train side. Let me just, and then maybe we need to make it a bit taller, maybe close as well. I think something like that. Now we can start adding in portions like this. I can start adding in this ceiling detail. For that, I think we can come in here, add a plane, and this is going to be something like so it's around here. So what we're working on are these banners here. Can you turn on shortcuts? Let me see. I think I have the add-on preferences. Shortcuts. Let me see. Let me see if I can get that. Do I have shortcuts? Yeah. Shortcuts. Okay. Okay, so what we're doing is this thing here, this banner here. So I'm just going to think it's something like that. Just have to subdivide this part here, bring it in. I think it's round like that, and you can use a bevel, and these ones are going to be at least 2 within each panel, or which you can grab this, extrude on the Y like this. Just make sure that extrude this on the x-axis. Let me first get rid of this. I'm not sure why. Shift in, recalculate normals, apply scale, and I think I can apply the same modifiers as we have for this. Just make sure I apply rotation, and you can see we have this. I want to have 2 for each panel. Like so. Now let's turn on ambient occlusion and maybe screen space reflections as well. Let me see if we need turn on the lights. Maybe not just yet. Now we can go in here, make sure that this bevel has auto smooth turned on, and I can increase the array of this so that this goes all the way. I'm also going to duplicate this, and I think it's something like this, and this connects around up here, then extrude like that. I think I need an edge loop here, something like this. That needs to be a bit rounded. Let me first get rid of this, and maybe get rid of this as well, and I think we can round this. And these panels here seem to be connected on this surface, something like this. And I think they might be a bit smaller. Yes, Blender Templates is my channel. Yeah, it is. Because I usually post the time lapses for the live streams. Let me scale this. I think this is something like this, but these ones should be longer. I'm going to give them the same beige color. Ink materials. This can also have a different material. So what I'm going to do is add a light inside of this, because this has these parts here, these banners here seem to have 2 materials. So let's do that. We're going to create a translucent, or let me call it loom, material, and then a poster material. Let me come in here, just add an edge loop here, Ctrl B. And what we're going to do is just grab this here. It's going to have the poster material, and we can give that a different material just to make things look a bit different. And then the Luma material, I'm going to use a shader translucent material, because then we can add in a light. I'm not sure if we can use an area light here. Let me just see. Actually, what we can do is, since these vertices are not going to be seen, but they'll be in the way if we add in area lights. I'm just going to push them back. They shouldn't have any effect. Hello, Bobby Y, how are you? Yeah, so I'm just going to add an area light here. Let me go to rendered mode, or let me go back here and just turn on lights. So this is going to be a rectangle. Just reduce it and just make sure that it fits our. So I'm just going to make this wider, just to make sure that it fits our lights. Like that. Now there are a few ways, because I want these lights to be on every panel, like we see in the example. What I can do is use a plane like this, but just delete the middle edges so that we only have edges like this, and I can just center this. I don't even have to center it. I can just I think I can leave it like that. Scale it up. Now I can parent this light to that. So Ctrl P, object, and then I can just grab this, go to the instancing and turn on instance vertices, like so. Just first go to this. You can see now it's duplicating every light we have onto every vertex. Good, we got a train today. Yeah. I always try to just mix things up a bit, because if you try to do the same things every time, you get bored yourself and stop learning. But I like to mix things up. Hello, RGM TV, how are you doing? So let me reload. Clear the rotation of this light, and then just where is empty. So just make sure that it's at the same location as our light, and you can see now at every point we have this light. Now the issue is I want these to be rotated at the same direction as these panels. So I want these lights, the lights on this side to face this side, and the ones this side to face this side. But you can't really do it by rotating this light. So the easiest things to do is instead of using instancing, let me first hide this for a second. Instead of instancing like that, I can just turn that off for a second, and maybe first get rid of this side. Delete vertices. I can just extrude this so that we have a face that has its normals facing the same direction as we want our light to face. Let me first bring it up here, and what I can do is now go to particle system, add a new particle system here, and I want to instance something like 4 lights or 2 like that, and I can see they're facing the same direction as we want our light to face. So I can go into the render and change to object and select the light. Where is the light? Yeah, the light I want to And you can see now that is facing the same direction as I want. But the problem is, if I increase the count here, the lights are going to be distributed randomly. And another thing I want is to add a mirror. Just select the plane as the mirror so that we have this on the other side. So I can bring this up above the mirror. Then that will, the particles are being switched. But if I go to the particle system, I can turn on, I think it's advanced, and go under source. I don't think you don't need advanced for this, but you just have to go under source and make sure you have use modifiers. Now the particles are being added on all sides of the mesh. You can also see them being adding light here. Hey, love from India, love from Uganda. How is India? So what time is it for you guys out there? Okay, so you can see now the issue we're having now is that the particles are being randomly generated, which is not something I want. And let me first. Greetings from Munich. Always a pleasure to see you in action. Nice tip with lighting. Thank you, Piotr by Louis. You guys have some of the best names to pronounce. It's 2 p.m. from Fabos. Remind me where you're from. Neil Oja. It's 1:53 India. Nice. So you can see I want to have only one light for each face. And let me show you what I want. Let me first, because I want each face to be located on a single panel like that. But right now we have more than one. So what we can do is go to the particle source. Let me expand this for a bit. India, nice, Fabos. 4:25, Bobby. Nice. So you like, is it 4 p.m.? That's in the morning. That's in the morning, I think. Is it? Yeah. Hello from Greece. 11:25 in the morning. Nice. Yeah, so I want to only have one particle for each face. So I can go to the source and I can just type in particles per face and set it to 1. And you can see now each face has one particle. But we want each panel here, each of these to have at least one light. So I can go into the array system. I can add an array and just make sure it's above the particle system like that. And I can and make sure that the factor is set to 1, or just so that each light is in the center like that. And you can see now I can just increase the particles here, and now we have. But you can see every time I increase the count, some faces lose their particles. That's because our particle count is low. So I can increase this until each light has at least one particle. So something like that. So you can even just count. So we have, I don't know, 14 times 2, that is, I don't know, what is that? 14 times 2, 28. So let's see, does 28. So it seems 28. I would think that's the number of particles we need. Yeah, 28 would be enough. Just make sure you turn off random order, and then you should have every face would have a light like that. Hello from Netherlands. Yes. Hello, Stamina. Hello, Stina. Yeah, thank you. How is Netherlands? Hello. How to bend the mesh like that? How to bend the mesh like that? I just used, so the way I just used use Ctrl-Shift-B to bevel an edge, and then when you add resolution, you get something like that. Hello, Karan Mahat. How are you doing? How is India? How are you finding India? Love your hard work, bro. Thank you, Anyan Tav. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is what we have. I don't even think now I can adjust. I can look at how this is going to change the lighting here, because if you look closely, this is how our light looks. So I want it to change. So I think I want it to be scaled like that, to be at least this size. I'm not sure if this comes through in the YouTube compression, but this is what I want. And I can go into instancing and make sure that I turn off viewport render. Is this where? Because I don't want to render the instancer. So yeah, that's what we have for the lighting. So we can go into render view and you can see what we have already. We can also turn on contact shadows for this light, which I don't want to show right now. I want it to be outside so that it doesn't affect the render. The Netherlands is very rainy right now, so it's the perfect time to learn some more blenders. Yeah, so because you won't be going outside anytime soon. Is that it? Yeah, I hate rain. India is a beautiful country. You should come here someday. I will put that on my bucket list. I haven't traveled a lot, and yeah, I'm hoping to do that after this plague. Can you make a tutorial on all nodes of shader editor? I think I can do that, but I think it's much easier to learn this way when you see the practical use of the node instead of just going through and naming the node one by one. But I'll see what I can do. So this is what we have so far. Now let's create a window panel. That should be easy. We can start with a plane like this, rotate it 90 degrees. I think it can have the same material as this, Control L, and maybe the same modifiers, Control Copy, the modifiers like that. I'll have it set in the middle of this, so scale it up, apply scale, go into edit mode. So this is our panel, and it's going to be our window panel. I will have a door panel and a wall panel like this. Hi from Argentina, sorry, from Algeria. Love your stream. Thank you, thank you. Atomic Polygon. How is Algeria? Are there many Blender users there, or any 3D artists? They don't really have to be Blender users. Yeah, so this is going to be our creating. I want it to match the same size. I want it to be the same length as. And I can actually make it start from there, so I can set it its origin to 3D cursor like that, so that we have this and this right around there. Now let's add in the details for the door, for the window. Let me see if I can find a close-up. It's a bit hard. I think this is the best we're going to get. Let me just save. I save this. It's a large image. That's okay. Grab this, bring it down like that, and let's look at this. Okay. So we have this going on here. I think it has also some kind of a bend somewhere here. So let me add that. So it, at around the middle here, there is a bend. So I've just grabbed this edge loop. It's not an extreme bend. Actually, I think it is around here. So it bends around here. Maybe can also just add in that and round this edge just a bit, like so. And that's what we have. Shade smooth, auto smooth. Hello Elias NS, how are you doing? Glad to see you. Hello hello Sultan. Hello Sultan, how are you doing? How is Russia? This guy wants me to get demonetized. But yeah, how is Russia, man? I've seen some of the best VFX reels are from a Russian VFX studio. I don't remember the name exactly, but it was some amazing, reel. Hey, change your channel name. Keep something related to Blender. Yeah, I've thought of doing that, but most people know the channel as Top Channel 101. Changing the name can be a bit, can become a bit confusing. But I've thought of that. Top Channel, I don't need to change the name. Yeah, I've thought of it, but because I think it would confuse a lot of people, because right now the channel has grown to significant viewership, so changing the name right now would be a bit more confusing. It wouldn't add much, but it could become very confusing to a lot of users. I'm great. Hello, Rockstar Guna. Hi, I'm your big fan. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Okay, so I've created this detail. Now, I think we can also create this. So I can go to the front view. Let me first isolate this. Maybe turn off the array for now. Come in here. I want to create this. So I can add a plane like this. Hopefully it's in the center. Just let me turn off the mirror for a second as well. Just bring it here. And this. Okay. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Derav Badrake, thank you. To grab reference pics from browser directly, you can use PureRef app. It's free. You can simply drag and drop directly into the. Yeah, I have PureRef. I actually don't even have it installed, but I do have it. I don't like opening up too many apps. I'm that lazy, and I'm okay with just using doing it like this. I think first bring back this. Okay, so I want to create a Boolean cutout. I think so. I think it would be. Let me just grab this, scale this on the X somewhere there. At the top, all the corners look rounded, and I think at around here, we also get another. Let me actually just use a mirror. Mirror this. You can see this is also. So all the corners have been mirrored. Have been rounded off. So something like this, because we're trying to create a profile like this. So Ctrl Shift B. Thank you for subscribing. Let me see who that was. Roger Hart, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, something like this. There is no way he don't know about PureRef. Yeah, I know about PureRef, I just don't use it. It's a very useful app, but I'm kind of used of just working right away with us in this format. Adobe is taking Blender. Will Blender gonna be paid a paid version forever? Later, I don't think that's something that will happen anytime soon. Because Blender is an open source, and there have been a lot of videos explaining why Blender can't be bought out by any application, which is a great thing, I think. Now, Blender will never be paid. In fact, a lot of software will become free for the coming years. Why do you think so? Because software is a very profitable business. I don't see why companies would just start making software available for free, instead making it paid. Okay, so we want to use this as a Boolean, so I'm going to select this, add a Boolean, and select this as the Boolean. Let's hide this for a second. Actually, Is this not working? Shift N. Make sure that's a Shift N. I want, yeah, exactly this. So I can apply this and hide. I don't need this anymore. I can recalculate this, the normals here, flip them the other way. So bring everything back. Now I can get rid of the solidify modifier for now, because what I want to do is first clean up this mesh a bit. Hello Aditya. Jenna, how are you doing? How is everything? Bruh, no way that Adobe is taking Blender. I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon. Like, yeah. So let's grab this, and because we're trying to create this edge loop, extrude like that, and then let's see. Can make sure I have clipping turned on. I'm just going to grab this edge loop like this, extrude. So we have something like this. Now what we left is this part here. So something like that. And I think what we need here, we add an edge loop here, around here, and then another edge loop around here. And I can round off. I think this is slightly bent. Control B, round this edge a little bit like that. Let me first zoom in onto that. We don't need all this, and we don't need this face and this here. And I don't think we can. We just need to get this up to here, extrude like that, and voila, we have that. Now you can do some cleaning up in this area, but I think it's fine. As you can see, we get that detail. And then we can create the window. Our shouldn't be that hard. If I get rid of, first turn off some of these, I think I can add an edge loop. Can you give me tips how I can improve my lighting? The best tip is to just watch other people's lighting and try to replicate it. And another tip is do what I usually do is just set all your lights into a collection and turn off one by one to see how each one is affecting the lighting you have, and get rid of anything that any lights that, and don't use too much lights. Play with shadows to make your lights better. They took a texturing tool, so it makes sense why they want a model designer, but I don't think Blender is the one they're trying to go for. Yeah, yeah, it would make sense if they can, for them to add a modeling tool. They have Adobe Design, but not a lot of people are using it. It's kind of like, it seems like a gimmick more than a viable 3D application. So yeah, it would make sense if they are trying to find fish for a 3D application they can add to their portfolio. And hopefully, or fortunately, Blender can't be that tool. Please make an empire or kingdom scene when you are free. I'll try to do that and see. Hello, Madara. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I want let's see. Okay, another edge loop here. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Danilo Veronese. Grab another edge loop here, because we're still working on that window. I think this should be around here. And now I can get rid of this, Control Shift B, because we want to round off this corner a bit to something like that. Now we are going to have some intersecting issues here. but we can get rid of that. Don't need this edge loop, don't need this edge loop, don't need this, don't need this, and can also just merge this at the center like that. Let's turn on the bevel again. Okay, I'm seeing something I don't understand here. Okay, so this is what we have so far for the window, and can bring back the mirror. It also seems that our window panel is quite too large, so I'm just going to grab this. So it seems like a square like that. And I think we can also select this edge loop, extrude back just a bit like that. So we can have something like that. And we also have some minor details here. So there is this, if you look closely, there is this thing going on here. If we want to add that in, all we have to do is add a loop somewhere here. I'm actually going to extend this there so that I can get rid of this. And maybe another loop here. I can grab this entire loop and use the shear tool to kind of bend it somewhere like that. Then I can, let's see, grab this up to, I think, here, insert just a bit, and then try to straighten it like that, push it in. I think it's something like that. Now you have to make and do something like that, and here every face here can be removed. Can just, and we have something like that. I think this is a nice stream for hard surface modeling because we're doing a lot of it here. I think we can also grab this loop, maybe slide it back just a bit. So we have something like that. It's amazing work and practice. Thank you, thank you. How much did you study to get such a level? Mostly watching YouTube videos. That's how I got where I am, at least. There are more efficient way to make money for the company, and at the same time make the industry grow and expand by giving more free utilities to artists, just like Epic is doing. Well, it depends on the company. Epic is doing that because I think their main source of revenue is not Unreal Engine. It's likely their marketplace, their Epic Games marketplace, where they're selling games and what. So it is in their it's in their advantage. It's advantageous to them to kind of give out Unreal Engine and other tools that make you make games, that help you make games for free, so that you can have them sold on their marketplace. While Adobe doesn't really have a marketplace like that. So their major source of income is software. So I don't see them doing something like Adobe's, like Unreal Engine is doing. And same with other companies. They profit mostly when their software is is for sale rather than free. So I don't see any other corporations or any other software makers that don't already have their software available for free, making it. Adobe has a paid marketplace. For what exactly is the marketplace? What is there? What is it they're selling on the marketplace? I've been learning Blender for 8 months now, and I can't, and you can't what? If I get rid of this array so that we can work on this, just going to use Ctrl E, extrude along normals, or something like that. Maybe grab this, extrude it back like that. They have a variety of things: stock photos, templates, and plugins. Add-ons are for their software. Yeah, but I don't think still they make more money from their software being paid for rather than it being free. That's why I don't see them ever making Photoshop free, for example. Because yes, you might have Photoshop, but how many plugins have you bought that are Photoshop related, that work in Photoshop? I don't think you have many. I don't think a lot of people use their plugins. But with Unreal Engine, yes, you might download you might use Unreal Engine for free, but you're going to need assets that if you're making a game, if you're using Unreal Engine for free but making a game, you're going to need assets to use in your game, and that's where you will have to use their paid assets from the Unreal Engine market. And if you're selling your game and you made it using Unreal Engine, it's likely you're going to be using their marketplace, their Unreal Engine marketplace. What is it? Their Epic Games marketplace to sell your game, which will earn them a commission off of your game. So their model is completely different from Adobe, I think. Wow, this man is creating a lot of projects than any YouTuber in Blender. Yeah, I kind of love working in Blender, so it's kind of becoming a hobby now. So, and I'm getting used to, my brain is beginning to expect working in Blender at least once a day, which I'm loving. Yeah, I haven't paid for them, but there are ones I could. Yeah. True. Do you do any rigging? I have been trying to learn IK for Call of Duty models. No, I don't really do. I want to get into rigging as well, but I haven't. I'm not very good at it yet. And just grab this. I think we can do something like this. Let me mirror this on the Z axis. I like how you throw that yet in there. Thank you. Okay, so let's create some materials here. So I'm going to grab this, Ctrl L, assign it a different material. I think and just create a new material. I can use the same material, make it darker this time. Let me make sure that I'm assigning it. Make it darker and make it more rough. So it's using this, it should be using this surface here. Let's try something like this. Scale it up or down. Where are you from? I'm from East Africa. That's Uganda. Is this live stream going to be saved? Yes, totally. It's going to be saved. I started out playing with models for video games. Nice, nice. So you mean like you're reaping assets from the video games and playing with them? Nice, because I used to see that a lot, especially with Fortnite. People would just go into Fortnite and just grab some models there and use them in their videos. And I think it's kind of copyright infringement, but Epic Games wouldn't, I don't think, would sue anyone for that because it would just look bad for their, it would be bad for their publicity. Unreal has a large amount of free assets and starter templates straight out of the box. You don't need to spend a penny unless you want to. Well, you don't really need to spend a penny if you are if you're not going to be making any good games, because when you're creating a video game, you don't want you want your assets to be unique. So using Unreal assets and free assets means that you're going to have the same characters that everyone else is using in their video game, which doesn't kind of look, which is usually not something you want. So yes, the assets are there for free, but if you're going to make any serious games, you're going to need custom assets, or at least paid assets that you know not a lot of people are going to use. Otherwise, your game is going to look quite similar to everyone else. Everyone else is who's using the same assets that you're using. Let's create a glass material here. Yay, Lo, I came in a bit late. This looks great so far. I love your work. Environment design is so hard to me. I don't know why. I just have to practice doing the same art. Yeah. Thank you, Vikanika, for subscribing. Yes, I mainly Call of Duty and Unreal Engine games. I don't like FN models. What is Fortnite models? Yeah, they're sterilized, so you would only use them in very unique situations or for very specific style. So please make us a tutorial on motion tracking, green screen set extension. Yeah, that takes a lot of preparation, but I can see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Most are okay as long as you are not reselling or using them in a game. Yeah, I don't think they're okay at all. But they don't really. The cost of suing you is much higher than whatever they're going to recover from you. So that's why you see they never really go for you. And finding you is also not that easy because you have to come up in their ladder for them to see that you're using their assets, which you need to be very successful for them to notice. Otherwise, they don't really care. I want to create a glass material here, so let's start with this and give this a transmission. Make sure this is using blend. And image renders of videos are usually cool with them. Yeah. I saw a lot of people using them. So can you make a tutorial now? Yeah, so that I notice assets in code being used from Quickstore Bridge. Yeah, Quickstore Bridge is a big asset library, and most of the assets are stones, stuff like that. That you can't really notice. It's usually characters that can be easily noticed. That you're using them from a different asset. For sure, just for those starting out. Yeah, mostly for those starting out, it's okay to just use the free ones. So please make a tutorial on motion graphics. Yeah. Okay. Do you use Quickstore Bridge? Yeah, but not a lot since I'm not really using Unreal Engine a lot of times. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. Game jams are a great place to network for indie. Okay, nice. I'm trying to catch up with the messages here. I did create a character with Blender before, and I found that the hardest part is rigging. You can see the full process in my channel. Oh, sorry to advertising my poor channel. No problem, man. So I'm okay with anyone promoting their stuff as long as they are not spamming. Okay, so let's continue working on this for a bit. Top channel, the guy that got me into this got fired by Infinity Ward. That's too bad. Was it, what could have caused that? Was it a layoff, or like maybe when people are just being laid off for nothing of their fault? Was it something like that? What tip you give to make the scene materials compatible with each other? Compatible with what? With a different application? Because that's a bit hard. Unless if you're using PBR materials, Blender materials are not compatible with other applications, at least to my understanding. Next, RGB. Model every day, even if it's a little sketch, do daily models. That really improves improves your work. And just make this a bit. So this is going to be our, make sure that's and also make sure that I have reflections, screen space reflections turned on. Okay, so this module is going to be, this window module has to be, and I think we also need to make sure that this has some walls for this. This module is going to be on every, I don't know. Let's see in the reference. So we have 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be, yeah, so we'll have a door here, and then some space, and then a window again. Add-on that will let you import those assets in Blender. Try it out when you get some time. That will let you import what? So import Quicksilver Bridge assets. Okay, so let's duplicate this again. Shift D, because this is going to be our door, and I shouldn't use this. I should use, so this is going to be our door. If you use this, going to duplicate this, make sure just this is going to be our door panel, and can have that separation gap a bit. Let me first read your messages here. So I know you can create the whole CG world like Ian Hubbard. Yeah, Ian Hubbard has his techniques that just makes things much faster. But a whole city is it's a big commitment. Even Ian Hubbard does it. It takes a while for him to create a full city. That's why you don't see him releasing a lot of videos every day. The guy that got me into this just got hired. Oh, sorry. You said hired, not fired. Sorry. Nice. That's nice. Edge model every day. Okay. Let me see. I'm missing some of your messages. Blender Plus Quicksilver workflow is pretty simple now. Yeah, because they use, I think, PBR materials, so it's very, very easy. Yes, you can import from Quicksilver to Blender. when the plugin was first released, there were issues, but they have got them worked out pretty fast. Nice. I haven't checked it out. No problem. Use reference, make a visual library in something like PureRef. This is where you will see, you will have access to your design favors and shape language. Yeah, so I know you can create. Okay, so let's see. Let me look at this. So there is this plain wall that doesn't really have anything, and after that we have some doors. So let's duplicate this, Shift D. This is going to be our door, but this is just a plain wall. So we can get rid of some of the details, like the window here. Just going to remove it like so. Same with any of these details. Let me first isolate this for a second. I think I might have done this. Let me see from this angle what I need to remove. So I need this to be connected. Let me first get rid of the bevel. I need this edge loop to be connected like that, so that I can get rid of this, get rid of that. This face. This as well. So you are master in Blender. Thank you VMFX. I need a help if possible. Every time I connect bump node to the image texture, my image becomes dark. What are you connecting it to? You have to connect it to the normal map. I want this to be straight, like I'm not sure. I think I can also get rid of this, because I don't think it's there. So I can do something like this. So please make a tutorial on how to make 3D model from 2D image. Like what kind of model? Are we talking like a character model? Because I don't really do those. Yes, I did that, and the image is still getting darker. Well, maybe you can share your project file or a screenshot in the Discord server. Let me post that here, and I'll take a look at it and see. So this is going to be this area here. It's too large, so I can add another math node here before the sign and add a multiply, and I can scale the patterns, because if you look closely at this, there are those lines that I want to recreate or replicate. So this is what we have. I don't know, maybe scale this. The lines are a bit blurred, so what I'm going to do is use another math node here. This time change this to greater than, so that we have really sharp lines like that. And we can use these to affect the roughness. So I can connect this to the roughness, and we should have some nice reflections. Let me just make this metallic so that we can see them much better. Now, the roughness is too much in some areas and too bright in some areas. So what I can do is just add a color and just make sure that they're using object mapping. Just make sure that they are using object mapping like that. I can set this to box and I can blend this as, let me see, I can just actually just mix this with this. Use that as the roughness. And now you can see, I can make this more rough like that and make this more reflective. I think I can even add a car ramp here. Actually, the car ramp will not do me anything. Maybe multiply this. The difference is very subtle, so we need to make this maybe, yeah, something like that. So you are making amazing and creative model and epic scene, but how can we put on green screen walking person 3D scene which you created? Yeah, as I said, that something like that takes a lot of, a tutorial like that takes a lot of preparation. But I think I can try doing it in the future. It's definitely something I can think of in the future. I think what I can do is select this inside part and just bring it forward a bit. So we have, yeah, so something like that. And I think this back side can also be extruded out just a little bit. So that's this section here. And I think, let me make this material a bit darker like that. Now let's see. Yeah, let's work on the door because that comes after this panel here. And the door looks something closer to what we had. So I'm just going to grab this, which is going to be our door. Let me first get rid of some of these. First remove the array. And let's see. The door is actually smaller. It's the same size of every panel, but I think this is also enough. And the door doesn't have most of these details, so let's first get rid of them. I think I can just get rid of all these faces. And it can also get the same treatment as, or the same material as the other one, or this. And let me make sure that I scale this so that it's on the same level like this, because I want to get rid of the other side. Hello Sonic, how are you? Hello Raw 8, how are you? Get rid of that. Now this is going to be our door, and all it needs is this to be extruded in, extrude like that. Then we also have this, the door itself. So the door itself, I can just grab an edge loop like this, Shift D, and first maybe separate it, and I can grab, actually I think I can push it back a bit, grab this edge loop and this, extrude, and Shift N to recalculate normals. Don't need that edge. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Valdi Wile Neto, thank you. And then let's make sure. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Jenna Son, really appreciate it. Sir, can RTX 360 graphics card handle this whole heavy workflow? I've never heard of an RTX 360. Is that a graphics card that exists? Or have you misspelled? RTX 360. I know of an RTX 3060, but not a 360. But an RTX 3060 definitely can handle this because I'm using something less powerful than that. Let me just... Okay. So our door, I need to make sure that the bevel is... I need to make sure that the mirror, the X mirror is below. We don't need the array just yet. Let me see. Oh, we need to first bevel this. Hey, thank you, Mansu, for subscribing. So, let me bring back my reference image. I think we need, let me first straighten this, pull this back a bit, and bring back the mirror. So this has to be closer, but not touching, like that. And if you look closely, we can extrude this, or before we extrude, we can add an edge loop here. He means 3060? Yeah, definitely would handle this because my PC right now is, my graphics card is far weaker than that. So let's add a loop. Let me see, add a loop around here and add a loop around. Actually, we can just use this edge loop, pull it down, maybe grab this, move this here so that we don't have to. So this is, I think, above here. Just delete this face. Need to, maybe this has to be a bit thinner. Something like that. Then grab these. Hey, thank you for subscribing. You guys are going off. I am Nova. Thank you for subscribing. I am Nova. I'm just going to bevel this. Yo, thank you for subscribing. That was let me see, Juige Fun. Thank you. Okay, so we have that. Hello Deepake, how are you doing? Yes, I'm running a 2070 Super, and it runs like a dream. The RAM is probably the bottleneck for me. Nice. Oh, so how much RAM do you have? And how much did you get a 2070 Super? I want to upgrade, but I want to know what would cost. I'm not sure of the cost. Just scale this. Scale this. Scale this. We don't need these edge loops here. We don't need these. We don't need these. We don't need this. So we have something like that. And now what we can do is extrude this. So it has some thickness. And you can see already it's starting to look like an actual dough. And then from there, I just need to grab an edge loop here. Shift D, maybe. Actually, I just need this entire edge loop. Shift D, scale it out a bit, and then extrude along its normals, just like that. And make sure that I grab this edge loop, push it out just a bit, so we have that ring. And I think we also need another loop here. So you are helping the beginner and many of the students. Your tutorials are so helpful for everyone, and I respect and I have respect for you forever. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, this is how I got to learn Blender, so I'm just giving back to the community that gave me so much. Here you can extrude this back out just a bit like that. And if you look closely, there is also an extra loop here. Just going to use that and do something like that, maybe. So we have that. Just grab this, because I think this lacks some resolution in some space, in some areas. It's okay with that. So that's where we at. 32 gigs of DDR4. Wow, that's a heavy beast. That's more like 5 times what I'm using right now, if not 10. Nice. I think for this, I'm going to call this metal. But we're going to remove the patterns. So you can just do this so that it's only reflective, only like that. You guys have some nice epic system specs. Yeah, that's a very beefy PC. So love from India. Thank you, VM FX. Really appreciate that. I'm going to add in this kind of label here. Just going to duplicate this, extrude down, and then just extrude out. Maybe I'll do it again here. And can also add in the glass. Shift D, F, extrude, Ctrl L, Shift N, and give it a glass material. I think it's called, okay, what material? Okay, I'm not sure how I named this, but yeah, it's called glass. Okay, so that's where we are. Let's go back here. I think, let's see. From this, let me first get rid of hide this for a second. So we have this. So we should also have another one here. We can bring an array here. I think it's it would go there, and then we have this, and then the pattern repeats like so. So same for the door. We have this, and same for this. Just need an array. Constant offset is usually the best because it makes things more precise. So let's do 2. Let me go front here because I want to have this placed in the door. And this is SC. 15, 14. Yeah, something like that. Now I just have to increase the count. So let's see how, I think it shouldn't be, this train shouldn't be that long, so it should just end, yeah, end at this. So right around here. Let me just copy this value so that we can use that instead of relative offset. We need trains. If we can buy them, we model them. Yeah, we will just model everything we can get. Really enjoyed the medieval scenes. Thank you, Burning Bright. Okay. Yes, paste this in. You can see it fits exactly where we want it. And we also want it to just end around there. Maybe. So we want the train to be that long. So let's go back to this, make sure that this is also only that. Okay, that's where we're at. Let me see if I make this metallic. Actually, no. Let's keep it that color, that beige color. Maybe make it a bit darker. Now, I also want these posters. They're going to have to be transparent. So, poster, it's going to have a shader, transparent or translucent material. And let's also make sure that this luma mat, or this is like that, doesn't have any shadows. This is also going to be the same, so I'm just going to blend these two and let them use the same material, something like that. And make sure that we set to no shadows, so the light can come through like that. Then let's see what else can we do. Now I have in my let me go to my using my text folder add-on, which is something you can get on my, I haven't promoted that, but let me just see. If you want to see any add-ons that I'm using, you can just go to that page. I will show you all the add-ons I'm using. But I want to go to my details folder. Actually, I think it's in my decos, which I don't have here. So let me link it here. So resources, decos, link, and I can see all the decos I have in here. What are the specs of your PC? So this is what I'm using right now. This is my CPU. It's an i5. I have 8 GB of memory and 1060, 3 GB. Nothing super fancy. Anybody is there making now in Blender? I think you're asking whether if someone is doing this right now. Not sure. Let's see. I have a lot of decals here, but the ones I want to do some to create these banner ads. So what I can do, instead of, because I don't have any right now, what I can do, because I want these banner ads, you can do a quick Google search for banner ads. Go to images, and you can see a few of these. Let's do food banner ads. You want to have these wider ones. So what I'm going to do is, let me see what I can grab. I can grab this and grab this. This also looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Maybe this. Let's also do movie banner ads. Bring that. This and that. And what we can do is I'm going to use my Deco Designer add-on. Let me just save these somewhere in a folder called ads, and just go to my desktop and create a new folder. I'll call this ads and just save the ads that I want to use in here. So this, grab this. This one has some watermarks. Hey, thank you, Thoughtless. Hello, Screen Under. How are you? Save this. Let's also throw in the Green Lantern. Save this. And did I add the Inception? Okay. Now, when you're done with that, we can go to, I'm going to use my Deco Designer to create these banner ads, because I think they're much easier. So I'm going to go to my desktop, ads, link this folder, and you can see we have all the banners we have created. So I'm just going to get some space outside this, add this as an image texture. So let's go to this, and you can see how this looks. We can scale it just a little bit. I'm also going to change my color management to standard, and maybe high contrast, so that I can see this. And if I go to save image, I can hit render image, and you can see how this banner is going to look. So this banner here is quite lengthy, so all long in its aspect ratio. So that's the same aspect ratio I'm going to use here. We can do a resolution of, on the X, we can do something like, let's say, times 5, something like that. And the Y resolution can stay the same. Just going to pull this back so we can align all the banners we want on this. Now I can go into design and load another banner, so something like this. Add as texture, just line it up, maybe scale it on the X axis or something like that. Hey, thank you, PugG Mobile Live, for subscribing. Did you subscribe? Did I miss that? I don't know. Okay, so then let's add in this here. Add as texture. You can see how the texture decode designer can, because you would have to do this in Photoshop, which is okay, but I like to stick to one application when I'm working. I don't want to go out of Blender. And I also understand some of you might not have Blender, but yeah, if you get the texture decode designer add-on, it's a way to support the channel. And you can also create your banners as easy as we are doing here. Just add this here as well. Let's get this. Of course, you can make this even wider to add more. Maybe let's do that. Plus 1920. And maybe plus another 1920. Plus another 1920. Let's zoom out, just bring this back so that we can add in this. And then the Avengers. Okay, maybe that's enough. Then you just have to go to save and render this. Let's take a few seconds. Love these streams much more than the time lapse. As a beginner, I couldn't really understand what was going on half of the time. I understand that, yeah, but yeah, thank you for appreciating that. So we have our banner designed here. Right now it looks a bit stretched, but that's okay. In the final thing, won't be stretched. So I'm just going to save this as a JPEG. I'll save this in my decals resources, custom decals. I'll call this banners wide banner. Save that. Now I can just get rid of everything here, including the camera, and I can go back to the original camera, and also need to reset the aspect ratio 19. Yeah, can also reset the back to that. 19 is 1920 by 1080. Love from Pakistan. Thank you. How is it there? Are things great? Okay, so now that we are done with that, I can come in here and I can go back to my texture folder add-on, which should be texture folder add-on, and I think I have this. I loaded this into the custom decals. So resources, custom decals link. I didn't save it here. Let's go back to quick deco designer. Yeah, I saved it here because let me just load it in. Image, open. So that is in resources. Custom decos are this here. So for this, I'm going to use object mapping. So Ctrl T and change this to object mapping. Object. Let me just make sure. And I'm going to add an empty right around there. I have to control the mapping of this. So I'm just going to select this empty. Just play with it. I have to get the right rotation. So let me first isolate this for a second. And maybe rotate this like this and rotate it on the X. Oh, just have to rotate it to scale it on the X. And just move it up a bit. Yeah, something like that. Let me see, do I have a mirror?